Right now, on a dozen apps on your phone, there is a button. Sign in with Google. Continue with Facebook. You tap it without thinking. It feels like the safe, responsible choice. Here is what nobody tells you. The standard behind that button was publicly disowned by its own lead author. He called it a bad protocol. He called it the road to hell. Then he took his name off of it and walked away. And we built the front door of the internet on it anyway. This is the story of how the most important security standard on the web was abandoned by the man who wrote it and won precisely because of the flaw he hated. Go back to 2006. The web has a dirty habit. You sign up for a new site and it wants to find your friends already on it. So it asks for your email password, your actual password, and you hand it over because everyone does. Developers called it the password anti-pattern. At Twitter, an engineer named Blaine Cook was sick of it. He wanted other apps to act on your behalf without ever seeing your password. He pulled in a designer, Chris Messina, and a few others, and by the end of 2006, they hit something strange. For a problem this big, there was no open standard at all. So they wrote one. By October 2007, they had OAuth 1.0, and the idea was elegant. Instead of your password, an app gets a token, a limited key that says, read my tweets, nothing more, and revoke it anytime. And every call was signed with cryptography. That signature was the secure heart of it, and a nightmare to build. One space out of place, and the whole request silently failed with no clue. OAuth 1.0 was secure, and for the average developer, miserable to use. Enter Eran, the lead author and editor, holding the pen on what came next. OAuth 2.0. The promise was seductive. Keep the security, kill the pain, make it something you can wire up in an afternoon. And here the story turns. Because the moment OAuth got important, everyone wanted in. Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, the big enterprise players showed up with their own agenda. They did not want a tight, opinionated web protocol. They wanted a framework. Flexible, extensible, something they could bend around their own systems. And in a standards committee, flexible is a polite word for nobody has to agree on anything. So the compromises started. The signatures, the hard, secure part, were pulled out. Instead, OAuth 2.0 leaned on one thing, TLS, the little lock icon in your browser. The tokens became bearer tokens, and the bearer token is just what it sounds like. Whoever holds it can use it. No signature, no proof of who you are. If it leaks, it is a password all over again. And they renamed the thing from a protocol to a framework. Hammer watched what he was building get looser and vaguer until, in his words, with very little effort, pretty much anything can be called OAuth 2.0 compliant. The web crowd that started it drifted away. The group that was left, he wrote, was largely all enterprise, and me. In June 2012, after 3 years and more than 24 drafts, Eran Hammer quit. He removed his name from the specification, and in July, he published the post that became legend, the title, OAuth 2.0 and the Road to Hell. OAuth 2.0 is a bad protocol, he wrote. WS*bad, the punchline for design by committee bloat. More complex, less interoperable, less useful, more incomplete, and most importantly, less secure than the thing it replaced. And then, the line that stings. I failed, he wrote. We failed. Here is what makes this more than a tantrum. Hammer lost. OAuth 2.0 became an official standard just months after he walked, and it swallowed the internet. Sign in with Google, Facebook login, sign in with Apple, GitHub, almost anything. All of it, OAuth 2.0. The framework he called useless became the most widely deployed authorization standard in computing history, and it won for the exact reason he hated it. Because it was easy. Because you could add sign in with Google in an afternoon instead of fighting signatures for a week. The web did not want secure and miserable. It wanted good enough and shipped today. We have seen this before. JavaScript, built in 10 days, won because it shipped. Git won because it was simply there. Easy beats elegant. Shipped beats perfect. But here is what leaves me uneasy. Hammer might have been right. In the decade since, a long line of breaches and leaked tokens trace back to exactly the freedom he warned about. The same flexibility that made it easy is what lets people build it badly. He did not lose because he was wrong. He lost because being right is not the same as being adopted. The web ran his abandoned blueprint anyway, and mostly it holds. Mostly. So think of this like one of those permission screens. I am asking for exactly one scope, your attention on the next one. If this earned it, authorize it. Like and subscribe. No password required, and you can revoke anytime. But I do not think you will. See you in the next one.